So my name is Amy K. Wilson, and I kind of say I'm a triple threat. I'm a nutrition coach. I am a board certified geriatric pharmacist, and I have been teaching fitness classes since I was 17. So I've been in the fitness industry forever.
Yes.
And yeah, so I kind of like do it all three. And I think all three are important because I can give you the nutrition and the fitness aspect, but I can also give you the outcome of what's going to happen if you're not doing the nutrition and the fitness aspect.
Yes. Yes.
Guess what, guys?
We're not doctors.
No, we are not.
If you're going to be making any major medical decisions, please consult your doctor.
Yes, and that includes diets, exercise, medications, and surgery.
We love you guys.
And we want you to be in our OSLP family forever.
So be careful
And consult
your doctors. We love ProCare. You guys know this. And guess what? They have a brand new product out and it tastes like an orange Tic Tac.
That's right. I have got it in my hot little hands right now. It's their easy to swallow tablet in Citrus Grove. And both of us have fully switched over to it.
We had to because it's easy to swallow, doesn't stick, and it has 45 milligrams of iron. And we both need that.
Yes, we do. So go to procarenow.com to take care of all your bariatric body needs. And our code is the only one that gets you a full 15% off. So use code OSLP at checkout.
Are you located in the Florida area?
Well, we have the perfect office for you. Dr. Fridley and his wife, Macy, have created the perfect, welcoming, and safe place for your bariatric journey.
That's right. So click on the link below to start your weight loss journey now. And don't forget to tell them that the OSLP's girls sent you.
Welcome back, OSLP family. Welcome back, OSLP family.
Welcome.
You are listening to our Sleep Life podcast, and this is Kelly.
This is Matt.
And we have a website that you
Yes.
need to go on right
I
now.
know, right? Have they not?
Right
heard
this
of it?
second.
It's weird.
It's oursleeplifepodcast.com, and there are so many things you can find on that website. It is filled with blogs. It has the digital downloads
And
with the journal prompts.
It has merch.
It has merch. It is a source for all things bariatrics.
Yeah. And what's really cool is when you first go onto the website, a pop-up happens like
Mhm.
all the other websites.
Yep.
We just want you to put your email in because you get a free ebook.
Yep. Which is
And-
being redesigned as we speak.
It is, and it looks beautiful. By the
Thank
time
you.
this is out, I bet it will be out.
I'm thinking so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're doing photos on Monday.
Yes, we are.
So
How
yeah, it's going to be
exciting.
all finished, and it's going to have a lot of information for bariatrics. So it's going to give you like kind of a rundown of what bariatrics is, and all the
Who we
information.
are, why we do the things that we do.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
whole thing.
All the other things that we do, JBY.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And that's what I was going to get to because you get a newsletter every week.
Yep.
Sometimes two, but a guaranteed one.
Yep.
And you'll know all the things that we're doing. Like when we go to like how we went to Pop Recovery
Yep.
and how JBY applications were open, now closed.
Yep.
So you get to learn all of that stuff.
It is very exciting.
It is very
so at the
exciting.
top of the website, though, that's where the support comes in.
It does.
So it's going to say become a patron. You want to become a patron because that's where all the support is.
That is where all the support
So
is.
if you go into the 7 or higher tier, you actually get admitted into our Facebook support group where there are over 200 people, all age ranges, all races, everybody's in there, and they're all just being supportive.
Yeah, they're
It's-
helping.
Yeah, it's helping.
Mhm.
Like I just saw a post from somebody that's having a really hard time struggling with their weight
Yeah.
and how slow they're losing. And there was already comments on it, like
They're
lifting
already
them up
helping. Yeah.
and saying like, you can do this, and just giving good advice.
Yes.
So that's the kind of support that you get. Also with becoming a patron, you get other things.
Yeah, there's like really cool benefits. So that's patreon.com/OSLP.
Yep.
And you get that support group. 2, you get a meeting with us every month.
Plus expert calls.
Plus, we're going to give you expert calls. That's new. You guys are also getting your own exclusive episodes. You get behind the scenes stuff. So everything is there for you to feel supported. And if you need anything, we'll find it for you.
Yes, correct. Now there is this free way to support us.
There's always a free way.
And it's on YouTube.
Yes.
So it's preloaded on your phone. Click on it, type in Our Sleep Life Podcast, hit subscribe and that little bell so you're notified when future videos like this drop. Now, you would see if you were watching on YouTube that we have a guest.
Yes, we do.
And we've had her on before, and it was a fantastic episode. So, of course, we had to bring her back for a part 2.
I know. We listened because you guys loved her.
Yep.
And we can't wait to have her back on. And so we definitely want to bring on Amy K. Wilson.
Yes. Thank you for being on the show.
I am so thrilled to be here, Mel and Kelly. I'm thrilled that people got something out of the episode. That always just makes me so happy.
Yeah, it was definitely love.
They love the fact of how well like they could understand what was going on, like the way that you speak and how detailed you get. Like they love that stuff.
Yeah.
So we have to do a round 2 because we got cut off when we were talking about like as women as we get older. So there's perimenopause and then menopause.
And then there's hormone imbalances. And I'm really interested in the hormone balances. I mean, I'm interested in it all, but I really want to know the hormones. But let's start. Can you tell everybody, if they didn't listen to the previous episode, who you are, what you do?
So my name is Amy K. Wilson, and I kind of say I'm a triple threat. I'm a nutrition coach. I am a board certified geriatric pharmacist, and I have been teaching fitness classes since I was 17. So I've been in the fitness industry forever.
Yes.
So I kind of like do it all 3. And I think all 3 are important because I can give you the nutrition and the fitness aspect, but I can also give you the outcome of what's going to happen if you're not doing the nutrition and the fitness aspect.
Yes. Yes.
You all might be asking yourselves, why do these girls love Just Meat so much? Well, we're going to tell you.
Yeah, because so much freaking flavor, guys.
Yes,
like
oh
it
my
is
God.
insane. And I love to cook, and this has cut down my cooking time like in half. Literally the meat part, 2 to 3 minutes.
Who doesn't want that for cooking? And I love, love, love the fact as a single person, I can cook 1 pack and eat that for the rest of the day, the rest of the week.
Yeah.
The rest of the
insane.
week, people. And I love that it comes straight to your door. I don't have to go to the grocery store. I don't know about you, but I don't like going to the grocery store.
No.
So having this delivered is ultimate.
It is ultimate. And you just go to justmeats.co, pick out all your different flavors. You can really mix and match what you want, and then use OSLP 25 for you to get $25 off your order.
Go now. Are you feeling a little sluggish? Little lack of protein? Little lack of caffeine? Well, we got the fix for that.
That's right. Dive Bar Nutrition has the best protein bars. They have caffeine, protein, and they taste delicious.
So head on over to divebarnutrition.com and use code OSLP at checkout.
And if you want to know more about Amy K, go back, listen to her episode because it is a killer one.
Yeah.
So definitely go back. So let's start with perimenopause, menopause. What's the difference? What is it? Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah. I mean, because we're almost to our 40s. So
you're in it.
It's
you are in it.
Oh,
no, it's not. No, you're in it. So believe it or not, perimenopause actually starts around 35. And you're like, what? Well, wait a minute. I mean, you think about all our things, and especially with females, we have different cycles of our hormones. We're, puberty, and then we get our period, and then we're in supposedly the baby making area, and then you start decreasing hormones. So what decreases? Estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. And that starts at 35. Now, you're not menopause, quote unquote, menopause until you've not had a period for 1 year.
Okay.
So that's 1 year. But so most of us are in perimenopause for years, like years.
Wow. I have a question.
Yeah.
Ready. We're going to go.
If it's called menopause and it happens to only women, why does it have men in the name?
Oh,
I mean,
well, what is it? Menses, men, menstruation. Yeah, it's all right.
Men, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why isn't it women pause?
Because an
Right?
old white dude named it. That's what happened.
That is so dumb.
I know.
Like,
I know.
if it only happens, like it's okay.
I know.
All right. I'm moving on. Because
Yep.
I just.
I mean, not
Yeah.
to diss the guys, but why is it such a pain in the ass, men?
Men.
But right?
I love it.
Sorry, guys, had to.
Oh, all right. So, sorry.
So we're in the perimenopause.
Yeah, 'cause
You're
I
in
just turned 38. Mel's 37.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
I still
So-
have my period. It's still regular.
I don't.
Yeah, and
you
see
haven't
what
had it for years.
and
don't
what,
count. It's been a
what you
decade
may
for you.
find is that it's regular, or maybe it's lighter, or maybe it's heavier. Maybe you notice that things are shifting, meaning that, hey, I never had this little pooch. Now I have a pooch. You may notice that you're not sleeping as well. You may notice that you have brain fog. You're thinking, wait, all this is probably stress. Well, it could be. It could be stress. It could be what you're eating. But when we don't eat, when we don't sleep, when we don't work out, we actually compound the issues around perimenopause and menopause. So yeah, so you're thinking, oh, I don't feel good. I'm getting puffy. I'm getting not sleeping. The only thing that we always contribute to perimenopause and menopause is hot flashes. That's the one thing that we're like, oh, the heat's turned up. What is this crap? Or you wake up in the middle of the night, you're sweating. And that's the one thing that we do always say, okay, perimenopause, menopause. We don't think about all the other things until later. Maybe it's like, oh, I'm gaining weight all of a sudden and can't figure out. I've done everything I had to sleeve, or I've been eating right and things are shifting, and what the hell is going on with my body? I don't recognize what these symptoms. I don't recognize the person in the mirror. Those all can lead up. But the thing is, when we use nutrition, when we use fitness in the correct ways and the amounts, then we can actually lessen the impact. Then there's also, I always say this is very individual. So when I'm saying this to you and to the listeners, everything is individual. There are a lot of myths. There are a lot of bad studies out there. And what I'm referring to is HRT, which is hormone replacement therapy. That is very individualized. And it's been given a bad rap because there was a study back a long time ago. It followed a bunch of nurses. It's called the nurses study. And they stopped the study because they said, oh my God, estrogen replacement is so bad for you. It's causing heart attacks. It's causing cancer. It's causing this.
Whoa.
But it doesn't.
Okay.
The problem was the group that they were using, and what they were extrapolating that information was, these people already had heart disease. They already had age issues. They may not have been so honest on some of the surveys. They were smokers. Their diet sucked. They weren't exercising. So there were all these other things that they're looking at going, oh, we took this information and said, because of that, estrogen's bad for you. When now we're really seeing that in a lot of women, estrogen and hormone replacement therapy, could be estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, are actually good.
So what exactly is hormone replacement therapy? Like, what do you do?
You want to go see a practitioner who knows their stuff. And what I mean is that somebody who really digs deep, is willing to do all the blood tests that you need. Because if you just go to your GP, they're going to look at you going, okay, well, let me just put you on a hormone. No. We're all individuals. And I am a proponent on something that's being compounded for you, meaning that it's bioidentical, meaning that it is the right dosage that you need, because everybody's different, right? So if you're not getting your levels, and I honestly say, if you guys are in your 30s, get your levels done now. And
where do we go to get our levels done?
So functional practitioners will do it. Certain OBGYNs are very good in hormone replacement. I always say, contact your compounding pharmacy who does bioidentical hormones. They will know the good practitioners to go to.
Okay.
Because they'll know. Because the pharmacists, we all know who the good ones and the bad ones are.
Yeah.
And so call your compounding pharmacy who does bioidentical hormones and say, who do you recommend for me to go see? You're going to want to get your levels taken. You may not be ready for hormone replacement therapy right now, but guess what? Your levels are going to be the starting point. your levels
Yeah.
are going to be what, this, I'm feeling good. These are the levels that I feel good at, so that you can start watching and seeing if anything changes. And you're like, hey, I'm not sleeping. I'm not doing this. Let's say you get your levels done in 6 weeks, or 6 months, or maybe it's 3 years. You now have that baseline of where you were at in the beginning.
That's what I was gonna say. It's probably
Yeah.
good to at least get a baseline in. So that way they can't tell you that you don't need or you do need something, because now they can see which ones are moving, which ones aren't
Eggs.
moving.
Yes.
So
And it will depend, because you guys still have your cycle, depend on where your cycle is too, as to when they're going to want to get certain testing done to see,
Well,
where your hormones are.
I don't have a
Yeah.
period.
Yeah, at all.
So I don't know. Should I get them done now?
probably
Yeah. Yeah.
100%. You haven't had a
Yes.
period in over a decade. So
Yeah.
there's a situation.
So you might, are you on like a medication that's causing that, or is that just because you just haven't had a period?
I just haven't had a period.
Well, and we need to preface, you have 4 autoimmune diseases.
I do, and I am
Yeah.
on a lot of medication.
And you
could
don't
be,
ovulate.
and I do not ovulate.
So you could be in early menopause just because of that, being caused by an outside force, whether medications or anything else that. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to have that and see what your levels are.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, let's make a call. Let's both of us go in.
Yeah. So we need to see a functional practitioner.
Well, it doesn't have to necessarily be functional, but it needs to be somebody who knows what they're doing. And like I said, some GPs might go into that realm. Some OBGYNs may go into that realm. You want to go somebody who thinks outside the box, who doesn't just say, okay, here's a prescription, go get your Prema and Provera from the pharmacy. I'm not doing any labs. I'm just going by what your symptoms are. No, you want somebody who's willing to dig. You want someone who's willing to make sure that they know when to get the tests, because it'll just depend on during your phases, and knows how to read them and knows how to, I would say, dose the hormone replacement therapy.
Okay. Yeah, like making it work, because like if maybe 20 works for me or whatever this is, and like Kelly needs 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like,
We're all gonna be different.
there's different estrogens that they'll have, 2 different estrogens in it, and there's a different ratio. There's testosterone. You may or may not need testosterone. There's progesterone. So and some people are on it daily. Some people are once a week. Some people take it 5 times a week. So it just depends on your individuality. And that's what you always have to think about. If they're just treating you as a number, if they're just treating you as another female who's, especially if someone's like, oh, I don't get you, or you're just crazy, or it's all in your head, move on. Find somebody else who that's what they do, and they want to help women in this stage of life.
Yeah. I mean, being your own advocate. That is huge. Not only for, HRT, but huge just in our lives in general.
Yeah.
If you're not connecting with your doctor, if you're not connecting with your surgeon, your dietitian, whoever you are working with in the medical field, you have to find somebody that will listen to you and tailor your care to you, not to the general public.
Exactly. And, it might be if breast cancer does run in your family and it has been hormone dependent, that's something definitely to talk to your physician about. And they may have to do a test to see if you have that breast cancer gene. So there's all these things to think about, but also the same point, don't be scared of hormone replacement therapy, because I get that all the time from people going, okay, well, I'm doing nutrition, I'm doing fitness, and I'm doing everything, but I still am having, what can I do naturally to help my estrogen? Well, unfortunately, the way our bodies are built, estrogen does go away. It goes less and less and less. And what we need to do is kind of like do the whole picture puzzle, not just piece, and put it all together. And nutrition, I don't think you can do any of it without all 3. You can't do it without nutrition. You can't do it without fitness. And then, if you want to add the HRT, yes. But if you're just doing HRT and you think I don't have to do the nutrition and fitness, that you're totally wrong. You have to do the nutrition and fitness along with it.
So I have 2 questions.
Yeah.
One, is there any vitamins that we can take to help combat or is it only a prescription type of situation?
Honestly, to get the right hormones, like you can try the estrogen and the natural like black cohosh and edamame, like soy products, to try to combat the symptoms. But if you actually want to do replacement of hormones, it really is to do those bioidentical hormone replacement.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then second part is, can we dive into the nutrition a little bit and what would help? Is it just the same, lower carb, high protein? Like
So it's not necessarily lower carb, because you've got to have carbs for your thyroid. If you're
Yes.
just you have to have carbohydrates for your thyroid. But it's also getting rid of the ultra processed foods, the sugar, let's say the crap, right? So you need the protein, because as we age, we do lose muscle mass. We want to prevent what's called sarcopenia. We want to keep our muscle, because that's the other thing. It's like, as you lose muscle, we become frail. As you become frail, you lose bone density. We don't want that. We want to support our musculoskeletal system, and we want to be strong later in life. So absolutely, do we need to eat that protein? We need to eat the fat, because we need that for our hormones too. And we also need to eat the carbohydrates. But do you need all the sugar every day, cookies every day? No, we want to get, I would say, the 90-10 or 80-20 rule. You want to get good nutrition. And then, yes, you have to enjoy life. We all have to enjoy life. It's just one of those things, because otherwise you go crazy. But don't let it go and spiral out of control. Get with that nutrition, because that's going to help you sleep. That's going to help you build muscle. That's going to help support your hormones naturally, like your thyroid and getting your vitamin D and everything else. So that's going to help kind of like put all those puzzle pieces together.
Okay.
Well, I was going to ask a question. I was just waiting.
Yeah.
Okay. So, because I get night sweats.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I get it. Yeah.
I mean, I'm very wanting to know about this pre stuff, just because we are going to be going through it. And so I guess, well, no, yeah, we are in it. Now that we've learned that.
Yes.
So basically what I'm understanding is we just need to call this compound place, get a referral, or not a referral, but they tell us
a recommendation.
Yeah, recommendation. Yeah.
And go and get it done. Now, is it just a blood test, or is there other things that are going to come with this?
So it depends. So usually there's a blood test. Sometimes there is a nice little thing that you have to spit in a tube and it gets sent away to see what your levels are too. That's so much fun. By the way, you have to do it first thing in the morning, can't brush your teeth. And you think that you're always salivating until you have to do one of those tests. You're like,
mouth is bone dry.
Yeah, bone dry. It's and you have to get to a certain level. So there'll be things like that you have to do. After that is done, then you'll probably come in for a consultation, and more than likely that prescribers may want to do a thyroid panel and everything else to see where you are. Yeah. And they'll come in, they'll say, okay, here's your testosterone level, here's your progesterone, here's your estrogen. Either we don't need to do anything right now, or if you are symptomatic, they may add something. They may try something. What you'll get a lot of general practitioners, or they'll just throw an antidepressant at you and say, oh, well, here, take Celexa, citalopram, Lexapro, and this is going to help with your hot flashes. Okay, it can. That's great. But you're still not getting to the root of it, which is your hormones.
Yeah. And I'm already on Lexapro and I still have hot flashes.
Yeah. And I'm on antidepressant.
And it doesn't work as much.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, that doesn't do anything.
And so if it's not working, then definitely you want to go with and see if the hormones would help.
Okay. All right.
Well, yeah, because I have heard from our other expert that because we are the age that we are, and I'm 9 years out from surgery, that things are different now. I need to adjust what I'm doing just because I am older and my pouch is different. My hormones are different. So I definitely want to go talk to someone now.
Yeah. I'm wondering, do you know, I'm wondering, my question for the community, do you notice these symptoms more often now that you are healthy?
Oh,
I would say probably more than likely, because now if you are healthy, you are actually, because you took the step to get healthy in the first place.
Yes.
And so you start feeling better, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, why do I feel this way? What's going on? And you're more attuned to your body and attuned to the changes.
Yeah.
Where the hot flashes are totally different. Like I used to think people were just like, oh, you're just being over dramatic. You're just, it's like, and a hot flash is different than feeling hot. It like comes from inside. It's like this inside inferno. And, when you're sleeping at night and you're having hot flashes, there are things that you can do that are non-pharmaceutical. So it's like having good PJs and sheets and your room's cooler and maybe a fan. All of those will help. And it's not going to prevent the hot flash so much, but it's going to wick the sweat away so that you're not just sitting there just perspiring and being so uncomfortable. I have cool sheets. I have a cool cover that helps. Okay. There's all these little things that you can get to help to make sure that you have sleep. Because we know when you don't sleep, okay, hello cortisol, hello glucose levels, hello cravings. Everything just kind of goes to crap when you don't get sleep. So we know that sleep is so important. And when it comes to midlife and getting past 35, all of a sudden that sleep starts kind of not being as great as it used to be. And we need to make sure that that sleep is very important and is very good.
So as like we get older, so 35 and on, is sleep even more important to our bodies?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Even
sleep,
more.
It's more because we're seeing that being sleep deprived can cause dementia, possible Alzheimer's. It messes with our gut microbiome. It causes increase in type 2 diabetes. So there's all these things that a lack of sleep, which how many people wear not getting enough sleep with like a badge of honor? Like backwards go, oh, I did all nighter, or it's like I had to do this, and it's like we say, oh, I can survive on 2-3 hours sleep. That's all I need. No,
right?
Especially females, 7 to 9 hours is what we really need.
Well, and if you have autoimmune diseases,
you need to
absolutely
you actually need more. So I was told that I need between 10 and 11 hours.
I believe that because that's the time that we rest, we rebuild, we repair. You can think all the R's. That's what we do in night. And when autoimmune, your body needs that recovery time because it takes a little bit longer.
Yep. And that's why and that's why I go to bed so early, because I'm hoping to get, I don't sleep that well.
I want to say,
I don't, but I hope that I will sleep that whole time. I don't, but I mean, part of that is me creating a new routine, sleep routine, night routine.
It's called sleep hygiene, or it's a sleep habit. And it's, if you guys want to nerd out about this stuff, there are so many wearables that you can wear. I have a Oura ring, and it's very interesting to see my deep sleep, my REM sleep, REM sleep. And it's like, you're looking at it going, I thought I went to bed. I thought I was sleeping, but I only got 6 hours because I'm somebody who gets up to go to the bathroom several times a night. And apparently I did tossing and turning. I didn't get to sleep right away. And it will score you how well you did. And last night I had great sleep. So it's like, okay, so what did you do differently last night that you had a great sleep? And it's sometimes you need those trackables, those wearables to kind of help guide you, to show you what you need to do.
Yeah, it's interesting how we don't really do that in a sense of like, okay, what worked yesterday that didn't work last night? Or like, we don't really ask ourselves that question too often.
We need to
like, okay, I felt really good yesterday. What did I do yesterday? Like, did I get high protein? Did I hit my water? Did I take my vitamins? Did I do all of these things? Well, then that shows me, oh, I need to do that every day.
Yep.
And maybe you worked out early in the morning compared to later in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Maybe you had a fight with somebody. So there's all these little things. Maybe you decide that, hey, I'm going to start having like a sleepy time tea before I go to bed and start a new routine. All of those things can give you so much information on how, like almost like biohacking, that you can improve sleep. You can improve how your process of going to sleep and staying asleep.
I really like the word biohacking.
Yeah.
I love biohacking.
Because it's a bitch sometimes to figure out what your body's really doing and listening to it. I think at least after bariatric surgery, I love the fact that I did get bariatric surgery, because now I'm like super in tune with like what's going on, how things move. Like even yesterday I ate, and then within like an hour I can feel it moving, and I was like, what the fuck? This is crazy. But it was like, this is kind of cool. Like I never, 9 years ago, I was not thinking about those things. And
No.
now I can like hyper aware
Yeah.
and we can adjust as we go.
Yeah.
Well, and you probably know what foods work for you. No, I can't do gluten. Gluten is horrible for me. I'm not celiac, but I'm gluten sensitive. And as you become hyper aware, and you know, of course, you have friends who are like, oh, really? And they make fun of you for that. But stand your ground, because
Yeah.
it's important to be. I wish everybody was hyper aware, because that's when you are looking at preventing disease. That's when you're looking at making you the best version of you and to be healthy. And when you listen to your body, like you said, be your own self advocate. If something's wrong, you know something's wrong and you
Yeah.
want to do something about it. But when things are right, it's amazing, and you keep going and doing the things to keep it on the right track.
I was actually just talking to my mom last night or yesterday about that.
Oh, yeah.
I was driving back from my infusion and I was like, oh, I'm going to call my mom, talk to her while I drive home. Cause it's like an hour drive. And cause she is going to have bariatric surgery, which I'm so excited about. But we were talking about like, cause she was saying what she was looking forward to because she is diabetic. She
Mhm.
does have neuropathy. She
Mhm.
does have all these things and she is getting a heart procedure done. And then she can safely have bariatric surgery 6 months after it. And it was just so interesting to talk about with my mom, like the health benefits and what she's looking forward to and
Mhm.
like adding in all of these healthy things. It was so cool because it's like before I had surgery, I never thought of it in that way.
Nope.
I never
Yeah.
thought like, oh, I thought healthy meant skinny.
No, and it doesn't. And we
it
can
doesn't.
go on about that. And, you know, the good thing, and it's like, unfortunately, what I see in my nursing homes are gastric sleeve and gastric bypass patients, residents who didn't do the things that they were supposed to do after surgery.
Mhm.
And that breaks my heart, because you took the risk, made the decision to have this surgery, and you thought skinny was going to be healthy,
Yeah, right.
and didn't change anything and kept eating the junk food and never made that connection that it has to be part of nutrition too.
Yeah.
And
It
to
really
prevent disease, it has to be part of nutrition, and making sure that you're getting the right nutrition.
Mhm.
And I think that's such an important conversation, especially since you've already been with it and with your mom. It's like, okay, so yes, skinny does not equal healthy at all.
Yeah.
And this is, you know, yes, we're going to take some of the pounds away, but this is what we're going to do to get even better. And it's going to be working with our nutrition so that we can prevent the diseases.
Yeah, I mean, I've already had a conversation with her because she's had several heart procedures this year. And I was telling her like, hey, you need to get more protein.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is so important for your healing, especially after these procedures. And she was like, oh, I get a lot of protein. I eat this and this and this. And I was like, Mom, I'm going to challenge you to just track just protein for one day. And now she's like, okay, so I was eating this. It's very high protein. Like she's very like once I challenged her, because we did the same thing.
Yep.
We thought we were getting great
Mhm.
protein until we tracked it, and we were like, oh, we're not even hitting half.
Nope.
Oh,
no.
We did that 2 years ago and we're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This is
so
not
it's,
good.
yeah, so it's
No,
very important to track your protein.
It
Not
really
only
is.
for healing, but for your bariatric journey. But then that also leads into like, okay, I need to track my water. Okay, where are my
Mhm.
vitamins at? There are
Mhm.
so many different things that we need to be a healthy person.
Well, and once we do one, everything else kind of like starts
It does.
falling in place.
Right.
And that's when we had you wanted you on the podcast anyways,
Mm-hmm.
because you are working with the people that are in nursing homes and you get to see the actual real side effects of
Mhm.
what's going to happen to us when we are older.
And we aren't following the
And if we're,
directions.
and whether what does it look like if we are following, and what does it look like when we're not following?
Yeah.
Well,
And-
here's the thing. I should not see 50-year-olds in the nursing homes,
No.
but I am. And one of my facilities, that 55 is the median age, right? 55.
Wow.
So, you
They're
know,
like less than 20 years away from us.
right.
I mean, your mom's older than that. My mom's older than that. They're doing just
My
fine.
mom's in their 70s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my mom's turning 60 this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So I'm
working.
seeing more
Yep.
and more of 50 plus, less and less of 80s and 90s.
Wow.
Wow.
So
That's scary.
that's what's going on, is that we are very much not a preventative society. And instead of taking charge of our health, we're just like, okay, well, there's a pill for that. Pills have purpose. They do. Some people do need medication. But if we can try to do these with nutrition, with fitness, with taking care, and like you said, with protein, I always love when I'm first starting with my clients and they start tracking and they're like, why am I so low in protein? I'm like, because you think, we've always been told, oh, well, just have a little palm, just have a little bit, and thinking that's enough for the day. And it's like, no, how about that? Like 3 to 4 times a day.
Right.
And, and you need that protein because we need it for our muscles. And it's just very interesting what we believe, what we've been taught.
Mhm.
And that's why I tell people it's not your fault. You
Yeah.
only know what you know. You only
Yeah.
know what's in the headlines. And so it's kind of having to go, okay, I don't know everything. I need to become the student and I need to learn, and give yourself grace to learn, because we expect to know everything just like that.
I
That we
know.
need to be that
Drives me crazy.
right.
Yeah.
We stomp our feet, we throw our temper tantrum, and this is
Yep.
just not, it's happening so slow. This isn't fair. I saw this person on Instagram and they blah, blah, blah. Okay. Let's remember Instagram's the highlight reel and nothing's true.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, on our channel.
You
Okay.
you guys are good, but a lot of
Yeah,
people
right
are
on
not showing everything,
Yes.
and
Yes.
understanding that everybody has an individual journey, and embrace your individualism. Embrace that the journey might be slow, and that is okay. If you're showing up every day, you're doing the things. Skinny does not equal healthy,
Yeah.
and you are doing what is needed for you. And you
Yeah.
are amazing and different and unique, and celebrate that.
Yes.
And I really like the fact you embrace the journey, because it
Mhm.
is gonna be, it's a journey.
It is a journey.
It's ongoing. It doesn't stop until you die. You have to just keep moving and just read and be okay with be open-minded. It's okay to be wrong. I think a lot of us
Yeah.
are so scared to be wrong that we literally don't think about all the things that could help us.
Yeah.
We kind of stop ourselves.
Well, and then
then-
I'll get I'll get my sleeve clients, and I'll get them, and it's usually because they start getting the weight back. And then they get very upset because when you first started, when you had the sleeve, the weight just, you don't do anything. It's like you're eating and you're being nutritious and you're being mindful, and it just starts coming off.
Right.
And then your body levels out, and your pouch might get a little bit bigger, or you're not doing the best nutrition and things start coming back, and it's one of those things going, but it's like realizing that your body's changing, and you have to go with the nutrition, and you have to go with the fitness and lifting weights. And that's okay. That's okay. We're never the same person we were yesterday. And that's okay. Yeah. And like you said, embrace the journey and know that there's going to be ups and downs. It's okay. That's life.
Yeah. I do want to go back to when you said we only know what we know.
Yeah.
And especially with nutrition, because I remember before surgery, I thought you had to eat boiled chicken and quinoa and sweet potatoes in order to lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I know, I do too. It's nasty.
I love sweet potatoes.
The only time I will eat it is at that restaurant in New Orleans. It is a coffee rubbed filet mignon. They have a bourbon sauce with mashed sweet potatoes, and for some reason that combination is freaking bomb.
Is it sweet? Sweet?
No.
Okay, that's my problem.
You tried
it's
it.
Too sweet. Oh, when we were in, I thought it was just with you and Zach.
No, well, I had it there too, but I remember I was like, no, we have to go here for this steak.
That's true. That's
yeah,
true.
and it was good.
It was pretty good. I'd rather have regular mash.
I know. But I think it's interesting because now my brain has flipped to where even the other evening I made my avocado toast and it's packed full of flavor.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I do the laughing cow cheese, then I do my mashed avocados, then I do my scrambled eggs with cheese in it, and then I do my Melinda's I think it's truffle hot sauce on the top. It's packed with flavor. It has protein. It has fat. It has carbs. It has
and fiber.
And fiber.
Fiber.
It has all the things that I need. and it is nowhere near boiled chicken and quinoa.
No,
Mhm.
and we get to have that tomorrow, so I'm pretty excited.
We are having it tomorrow. Yes. Yes. And I have all the things for it. Yes. So I think it's interesting that, you know, we think that it has to be plain and tasteless and no flavor in order to lose weight. And that's just
Right? It's
not
like, guys,
accurate.
we are in 2020.
Yes.
No,
We have
one of
all
my
the spices
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
one of my favorite meals I make is burger in a bowl. I mean, and I love my burgers. You told me 15, 20 years ago, it's like, oh, you can't have that. That's bad for you.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Yep.
because like, why? No way.
I
And
love that.
yeah. And like you said, we only know what we don't know, and don't beat yourself up. And so it was like, but you know, and you want to beat yourself up, but you didn't know that information. You were fed a bunch of myths, a bunch of things that weren't true, and that's become our belief system. We just got to change the belief system.
Well,
Yeah.
and I firmly believe that we live in like this society of where, like, okay, our parents, like we said, are older. So they lived in a generation where newspapers and radio
Mhm.
was all how they got their information.
Yeah.
That is
Mhm.
it. So what was printed was real, and that's what you went with. And so that trickled on to me and Cal and everybody else, and thinking like, okay, so we just grab these things that are telling us that it's okay, but realizing, oh shit, this is actually just a marketing ploy.
Oh,
Oh no, we're not actually getting healthy from this. This is actually could make us worse. Like, so now we have to like reframe how we think and go, oh, not everything is truthful. And I know that really messed with me for a while because it's just frustrating because I'm like, you guys, like we lived in a society at once where everything was true. So
Yep.
now it's not, and you have to really do your research and be really mindful. And that's hard to do with when you're just trying to survive sometimes.
Well, and I mean, even think about the foods that we eat. Like,
Yeah.
we look at a food and we're like, that's the food. But like, I think of like cottage cheese.
Yeah.
Cottage cheese is such a versatile ingredient
Yep.
because like I'm blending it up. I'm putting it in queso. I'm putting it in my ranch. I'm putting it in my, like, I'm putting it in a lot of different things. You can put it in your eggs.
Yep.
Like there's so many different things that you can do. But back then it was like cottage cheese was cottage cheese.
It's all you eat that way.
yeah.
You can change
Well,
it.
And if you think about, you know, when I was growing up, it's like Cosmo, Glamour, 17, all those magazines, and everything was a diet. Women's World still, you know, if you go to the grocery store, you see it. It's like such and such lost 200 pounds, and this is how she did it. You look at the meal plan, you're like, you got to be freaking kidding me. No
Yeah.
way. And you know, and none of us, I don't think none of us are immune to it because we all like, oh yeah, if I just do this, you know, because we still think skinny is happiness, which is not.
Right.
But there's something in our brain that is still there because that's what we grew up with.
Yeah.
And realizing that it's not happiness, and you can still eat, you can still have flavor, and you can still do that and be healthy. It's just what we're doing is actually getting away of the processed convenience foods.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it has to be difficult.
Yeah.
What we're doing is getting rid of the frozen pre-made meals that may not be so great that have all these additives in it. We're going back to the basics of real food again.
Yeah.
Whole foods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really am enjoying the whole foods, especially the just meats.
Yep.
Like that has been a game changer for me.
It's so easy. It's just meat is so freaking easy.
It
It's,
is.
it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
It
yeah.
is. And we absolutely love it. And they just send it to you and you've got 4
And the-
servings in one thing.
Yep.
And the flavor is like the flavor is, yeah.
I think
So
that
good.
was the most shocking spot for just meats, and
Yeah.
again, OSLP 25, because there's so many flavors I would have never touched.
Yeah.
I never
Uh-huh.
thought of. It wasn't even in my like scope. So now
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm trying all these different flavors, and they're all fucking
Well, and the
good. I
thing that
haven't
shocked-
not liked one of
Yeah.
them.
I mean, the thing that shocked me the most was when I cooked it for the first time, because obviously I tested it out, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be dry. This is gonna be, you know, chewy. It's like, it's already cooked. And no, it's so like, sorry to say it, but it's juicy. It's like, it's not heavy in your stomach. Like it's crazy to me.
Well,
how
it's
they
like
do
you
it.
like you said, you can't do you can't do a chicken breast every day. You can't do a chicken. I can't do the chicken breast I make every day. Not
No.
happening. But I can do all 5 different kinds of chicken breasts that they have because
Right?
they are there, and it's not high sodium. There's not crap in it, and it does make it so much easier. It's like it's in the pan, warm it up, toss it over a great salad or a side, and it tastes like
Done.
something. Yes, is it chicken? Yeah, but it's 10 times better than I can ever make.
Oh,
And
hands
the flavor is going to a first class restaurant.
It was kind of funny because when I was talking to my mom last night, I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna make meatloaf tonight," and she's like, "Oh, is that just meats?" And I was like, "No, I'm actually gonna cook my own meatloaf." I was like, "I don't even think they have
They
meatloaf.
don't.
Oh, but no.
But just meats, meatloaf, burgers, burger patties. That would be great to have."
all
Yeah.
burger patties because they get. We are sorry. This is not really supposed to be an ad, but
Okay.
this is how much we like them.
It's like just meats, you're welcome.
Yeah, because they actually get all their meat from a farm.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
all local. Like they are in Utah with farms.
Yep.
And so you're not like it's not processed like crazy.
Yeah,
which
and I love that, and I love the fact that I don't have to freaking cook the meat.
Nope.
I don't want to be a peasant. I don't want to cook my own meat. I don't like it. You have to cut off all the tendons and the fat and blah 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 blah, and I don't like it. So
Well,
just
and,
meats is like-
and not that it's like an advertisement. I think what most people will ask me, especially being a nutrition coach, and they come to me first and like, yes, we want things that are convenient. We want things that are quick. We want things that are easy. And unfortunately, a lot of that stuff is not healthy. But when you find something that checks all the boxes and is less processed and doesn't have all the additives or the sugar or the chemicals, then yeah, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, somebody finally answered one of our prayers and made life easy for us. And the fact that it really is cost convenient, because think about how many times you go and it's like, oh, I'm gonna be good. I got this much, I got this meat, and I got this meat, and I'm gonna do all this cooking, and you're like, not have, and then you go through, then you get takeout because you're like, oh, I just don't feel like cooking. Where when something is convenient, you can check off those boxes, and that helps. Sometimes you need that help. I think it's like you said, the community, when you had that Facebook person that had, posted something, they weren't having a good day, and you have everybody's hands on your back. It's that those little things is what causes people to succeed.
It is, and it is the little things. Like as long as you know you have someone like in the benchies to help you, you have the just meats in your fridge, you have the water, like what you're doing. It helps the journey so much more.
Yeah,
so much more.
Can I ask what you put in your burger bowl?
So my burger bowl is like, okay, I call it a big ass salad because I love everything that's a salad. So it's like kale and I'll get one of those mixes that has all this stuff, right? And I'll have peppers and everything else. So depending on what my macros are for the day, because sometimes I'm lower fat, sometimes I'm higher fat, but I will grill a burger. And then I will make my own kind of like Mickey D sauce, for the big. So it's Big Mac burger in a bowl. So you take some dill, so being like the dill from the pickle jar, so dill juice, and a little bit of ketchup and a little bit of avocado mayonnaise. You mix it up, and that makes such a great sauce. And you use that as your dressing, and top that with your burgers, and put some little pickles on it, and it's phenomenal. It's so good.
I'm gonna have to try it. Have you ever done it with like ground beef instead of like a burger?
Yeah.
So just throw ground beef in there.
Just throw ground beef. Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
I would say I typically chop up my burger anyway, so if it comes ground beef.
Well, it's right now it's grilling season out here, so I'm grilling everything. So making a burger, But I do it, and in the wintertime it'll be ground beef and just use ground beef instead.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So the other question I had is, how much sodium should we look for when we're in the store? So say we're looking for those convenient things in the store and we flip the box over. What is like a range to look for? Or can you not say that?
So I mean, if you're going with something processed, there's gonna be way too much sodium in it. There just is. That's just the way it is. So, but salt isn't bad. It's the salt from the processed food. So if you're doing pink Himalayan salt, if you're adding that kind of thing, that's okay. It's the sodium chloride. It's the stuff that they use for processed foods. So if you look at a can of Campbell's soup, it's like over like 1,500 milligrams a day. And
That's
you're
a
not even
lot.
supposed, I mean, that's a lot. That's almost, I think, everything that you're supposed to have. So once again, if you do fresh food, that's okay. We need electrolytes. So some salt is okay. It's when you go to above an extreme is when your body starts saying, hey, not so much.
Back in the day when I would lick my hand and put salt on it and then lick it again. Probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah, not so much.
I did as a kid.
Oh my God.
Did you not know that?
What it's creepy to me how much you and Zach are alike. Like literally, we're in the movie theater the other day, and he always asks for an extra cup of the like cheddar salt thing,
Uh-huh.
and he will literally go like this. And then you've got Chloe next to me doing the exact same freaking thing. Like I have never thought about like just straight up eating salt.
Salt, no.
You know, sometimes that means there's a deficiency.
There's just this, yeah, there's a deficiency
Yeah.
somewhere. Yeah, you have to be
Because
careful of that.
Trust me, my mom took me to the doctor and he was like, so why do you want to do that? I was like, I just like the taste of salt. It's
Yeah.
great. And so he's like, you need to drink a lot of water. If you want to keep doing this, we need to flush
That's
you out.
that's
So
hysterical.
let's go back to menopause now. So we've
Yeah.
pretty much covered the pre, the peri, whatever's.
Perimenopause.
So what does it feel like to be in menopause? What does it look like? How does it feel? What do we do to help?
How do we figure out that we are in
I
menopause too?
kind of put perimenopause and menopause together because when you start having all the body changes, people want to say, oh, it's menopause. No, if you're still having a period, you're in perimenopause. Menopause is going for 1 year without a period. But most your body changes and most of the hot flashes start in perimenopause.
Okay.
To me, that's your, if you weren't doing it before, it's your signal. Let's get the nutrition, let's get the fitness, let's start lifting weights, let's start getting that all in check. Because and when we go and we start losing more estrogen, we don't have a period anymore. So we're increasing our chances of osteoporosis and heart disease, and our cholesterol might go up, our A1C might go up. Estrogen is very protectant, and we're finding more and more out of what estrogen was doing for us.
Okay.
And that's why we see more heart disease in people who are in menopause, because the estrogen is not there anymore. That's why we see more high cholesterol, is because the estrogen is not there. That's why we're seeing a higher A1C, because the estrogen is not there. That's why we're now kind of looking at going, you know what? HRT is not that bad. And it used to be like, oh, you just do HRT to get yourself over the hump and then you stop. Now the thought process is, no, we're doing HRT until well into our 80s and 90s. That's something that is very protective of our system.
Wow.
Doesn't mean that you're going to still have a period, but it's still going to help you for other things. So other disease states. So what does it look like in menopause? Well, you don't have a period. That's what it looks like. And you might notice some other things. You might notice your skin elasticity. You might notice your hair. But with the HRT, that can kind of help slow it down. With good nutrition, that can help your skin. That can help the elasticity in your skin. With lifting weights, that's going to help keep your muscle. And it's also going to help build muscle. So there's all these things that we have to do. And we have to put it all together and not pick and choose, but put it all together so that we can, I always say, train for our later years. We're training for our future self. And that's what you need to do, and start in your 30s when you're in perimenopause, so that maybe menopause isn't as bad. Maybe it's not as life-changing as it has been for some of us who are chronic dieters all our lives and lost muscle mass. And if you can start putting that muscle mass on now, you may not even see the differences. There might be just little differences instead of really big differences. Because remember, muscle is our metabolism. That's what's going to keep us going. That's what's going to keep us strong. That's what's going to keep the shape of the body that we want. So if you can keep that muscle and keep building that muscle, you're going to be so much better off when you hit that menopausal age and beyond.
Okay. So, and that's probably, I know that I'm right about this, but I remember like those older people, like, I just want to preface, you don't have to do heavy weight. I've seen grandmas, grandpas, and they just have little weights and they're just walking, or they're in like a yard. I've seen people doing like, just little things, and they're holding like 2 pounds. Like it's just getting your body moving and then like getting it stronger.
And don't be afraid of lifting heavier.
Yeah.
So when I first started and, I was teaching aerobics classes, so we always use 8 pounds. 5 and 8 pounds is what we use all the time. Now I can do 20 to 40 pounds for dumbbells. So it doesn't mean that you're going to get bigger, because that's what we're always afraid of. It's like, oh, but I'm going to get, no, you're not going to be Arnold. It's okay. We don't have that much testosterone, and lifting heavier and building muscle, well, like I said, will give you the shape that you want. And it will also help protect your bones. It's going to help you stand up. It's going to help you lift things up. It's going to help you walk. So there's all these things that muscles do for us that we always forget about.
What about body weight?
Body weight is perfect too. Body weight weighs something, right?
Yeah.
So what people need to understand is that start somewhere. And they're like, but I'm out of shape. I can't work out. I can't do it. You got to start somewhere. And it's okay to be out of breath. It's okay to say, I can only do 2 reps out of 10. Because guess what? Next week, it might be 3. The week after that, it might be 4, then 5. Yeah. And you will get better and better and better. But I can guarantee if you don't start, you'll never get better.
You'll never. There's no way. I think people forget about that. And I think from me being around, like my parents, like my dad was older. He was an older man. So like all the family was too. And people forget how important it is to be able to stand, to be able to walk, to be able to move and not be like limping or in pain or grabbing that hip or grabbing your knee. Like you don't want, if you can prevent it, like let's try at least, right? Yeah. Like let's get the muscle around your knees and your hips and make sure that like things are in the right spots. Because I've watched it, guys. It is not pretty. It's not pretty at all. It's actually kind of scary.
Yeah. And especially with females, if we're not getting our nutrition, we're going to go get osteoporosis. We could be losing muscle mass. So now we're looking at in future hip breaks. We don't want to do that. We're looking at maybe shuffling. We don't want to do that. We're looking at not having energy. Definitely don't want that.
Yeah.
So all these things that we're doing now, let's set ourselves up for this future that we're like, okay, it's and not have to think about those kind of issues. Let everybody, let everybody else who decide to ignore all this advice, they're having issues, but we're living our best life.
Yep. And we've seen like Dana's mom. I don't even know what age she is, but it's like, it's
gnarly.
Yeah. Dana talked about it at the Pop Recovery about how like, I think she's
Dana's the CEO of Devotion.
Yeah. Sorry. Thank you. So her mom is like 70, can literally walk around, do all the things. She works out. Her like stepdad or her father, I don't know, is like hunched over, slowly walks because he didn't do the thing.
He's not doing the weightlifting like her mom is.
Yep. Yep. And you can totally see a difference right there.
I mean, that's why I say muscle is the fountain of youth. It's what keeps, we're not meant to age. We grow older. We add a birthday every year, but we're not really meant to have these diseases of age, of frailty. We kind of cause a lot of that ourselves, but we can put the brakes on and actually reverse that just by starting, just by taking that first step, working on your nutrition, getting your muscle mass, and really understanding that you have the power to do that. Because sometimes I think we think we're powerless, but we're really not. And it's okay to be a beginner. Allow yourself to be a beginner. Allow yourself to be sore. I still get sore because that's what a lot of people like, but I'm sore or I'm out of breath. It's okay. That's fine. Or I feel stupid. That's okay. I taught my kickboxing class last night. I had 7 new people. And I'm like, you're going to feel like you're just, hitting air and flat, but smile and enjoy it. Have a good time. You're moving your body. And they all did. And they're like, okay, I'll be back. Because you'll get better every single time and you'll get stronger every single time.
Yeah. And I think that goes along with the bariatric journey. Every day you're going to get a little bit better. And every day you're going to learn more. And every day you're going to solidify what your bariatric journey is going to look like.
Yeah.
And moving forward.
As long as you're present, like every day will just get a little bit easier.
Just trying. And not every day is going to be great. You have to be okay with, okay, that was an off day, but today's a new day and I'm going to do what I need to do because that's what I need to do because I made an agreement when I had surgery that I was going to do all these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our motto with that coach is progress over perfection. We as females especially, think we have to be perfect. And if we're not perfect, it's not going to work. And so if it's not perfect, then I got to start all over. And understanding that showing up every day and giving as much as you can and being progress is okay. 80% is better than 0.
Yeah.
And 80%, no one's going to be 100%. So why even stress yourself out about that?
Yeah.
I like that. That's
I agree.
very important to hear.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to be 100% all the time.
Mhm.
But just be the B student, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lived off of B's. Like, it's totally fine.
Right?
Yeah.
B's
B's and C's get degrees.
Oh my God.
They do.
Well, Amy, do you have anything else to add to our conversation? I know that we're going to have all your links, all of the stuff about you linked below. I think this was a great combo.
This is awesome. This is part 2 is I think even better than part 1. So if you didn't listen to part 1, go back and listen to part 1.
Exactly.
But feel free to follow me on Instagram. I'm at the Nutrition Coach Pharmacist.
Yeah.
That's right, guys. And remember, we have a website. Go over to oursleeplifepodcast.com. That's where you can get all your merch. You can get all your newsletters, figure out what OSLP is doing.
Pillow tracker.
And then you can also go over to patreon.com/OSLP to become one of our patrons.
Yep.
Get all those benefits. Become a benchie because you get lots of stuff over there.
Yeah.
And we just want you to be supported and successful.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, we love you guys and we will see you next time. Bye.